There are not many things in life that are better than homemade samosa made with homemade pastry from scratch. Let me show you how it's done.
You might think that samosa are really hard to make, but although they're quite faffy and long-winded, they're actually relatively easy. So I'm going to show you today how to make them from scratch using your own homemade pastry. First thing you need is flour. I'm using a regular plain flour here, but if you've got strong white bread flour, any other plain flour, it works. It's totally fine. Then into that, you're going to add salt and a little baking powder. Then we're just going to give that a little mix together. Before we pour in about 60 millilitres of a neutral oil. Again, let that mix together a little bit. And then pour in warm water. This will just help the oil to combine into the flour and make a nice smooth dough. Once your dough's come together and it's nice and smooth, you can take it out. Then all we're going to do is just bring this dough together again on your work surface. If you do this by hand, it just takes a little bit longer. If you've got a mixer, obviously it's easier. But using warm water is the key. It will just help the oil combine into the dough really quickly and really easily. Then once your dough is looking nice and smooth like this, you can then portion it into small dough balls. This amount of dough will yield about 50 samosa that are medium sized, and I'm going to portion this into small kind of portions like that, about 50 grams if you're going to weigh it. Then once you've portioned up all of your pastry dough, you can just form it into small dough balls. Try and get them as neat as you can. It just makes them easier to roll out round. Then starting with the first dough ball that you made, you're just going to roll these out nice and even. You don't want to get them too thin. So just make sure that you try and get them as round as you can and even all the way around to about 1 or 2 millimeters in thickness. Then dust off the extra flour from your miniature roti and pop it onto your tawa, which should be on a really low heat. You don't want to cook these through, you just want to seal them either side. So after about 10 seconds on each side, you can take them off. They should look a little bit like that. This is the part that takes the longest, so just rinse and repeat. Now that that's all done, we can get on to the next step. The first thing we're going to do next is to make the glue to stick the samosa together. So you're just going to grab some of that plain flour and mix it with a little bit of water just to make a thick paste. This is the kind of consistency you're looking for. Then you just want to set that to one side while you get the filling ready. The best thing about samosa is that you can stuff them with literally anything you want. So usually when I've got loads of leftovers in the fridge, I will repurpose all of it and make a filling for my samosa, which is what I'm doing today. So this is the mixed vegetable salan that I made about 2 or 3 weeks ago, which I knew we weren't going to manage to eat. So I popped it in the freezer, and because I knew I had it, I pulled it out today, and that's what I'm going to use. The only thing I'm going to add to it is a little bit of extra seasoning and some boiled potatoes. There are about 8 boiled potatoes here that I've just peeled, and all I'm going to do now is mash them into the actual vegetables that we've got here too. You just want to make sure that you don't have any sharp corners on your potatoes that will poke through the pastry when you're making your samosa. Don't worry about what this looks like now. It will taste delicious, I promise. Use a masher if you want to, but the little pieces when you do this by hand are actually quite nice in your filling. If you want to know how I make my veg salan, I actually shared a video on that too. So hop over and have a look. It makes the perfect filling for a samosa. Then just to add a little bit more oomph to this, we are gonna add imli, which I've made at home. Again, if you want to know how to make this, you can find it in my shorts. It's messy business, but it's definitely worth making at home. And then some green chilies for extra heat. Optional, but I like my samosa with a bit of kick. And then also a few extra seasonings. You can actually check what you've already got in terms of flavour in your mixture. If you want to add extra, you can. If you don't want to and you feel like your mixture's fine, then that's okay too. So I'm going to add in about a tablespoon of aamchoor for a little bit of extra tang along with that imli. I love tangy food. A couple of tablespoons of coriander and then just a bit of salt because we've put in some extra potatoes, so I'm adding about half a tablespoon. And then just a pinch of cumin too, about 1/4 of a tablespoon. Then all that's left to do is to mix all of that together. And while you do this, just have a quick check for any lumps of potato that might need squishing down a bit smaller. It just means when you're stuffing your samosa, it makes it a little bit easier. This is what you should end up with. So now you're just going to set this to one side and we can now make our little samosa pockets. To do that, just stack up a few of your pre-rolled pastry sheets. Then you're going to cut them in half. And then to make this next step a little bit easier, you're going to lay them out, leaving 1 centimetre at the top of each one so that we can brush on our glue. Grab your glue and just spread it on half of the pastry at the top. Then to make your little pocket, all you need to do is fold over that side and pop the glue side on top. And then just gently press down and seal. And you're left with a perfect little pocket. There are so many ways to make samosa pockets. Everyone's got their own technique, their own preferred way of doing things. This is just mine. It's how we've always made samosa at home, and I just find it super easy. But if you've got a different way to make pockets, that's fine too. Then once you've made all of your pockets, you are ready to stuff them. You want to make sure that you get the filling all the way down to the bottom corner, but don't overfill, because if you put too much filling in, they might split when they fry, and you also won't be able to seal them properly. So when they're looking a little bit like this, just pat down the filling and then line one side of your pastry with the glue that you made earlier and press down nice and firmly. And there you have it. It is a bit of a long task, but if you want to make light work of this, the best way is to get all of your family and friends involved. You can have it done so quickly. If you just allocate everybody a job each, they can whiz through so that you're not doing it all on your own. Now you can, if you want to, freeze these as they are. You can sometimes find at the bottom that they will open up as they're freezing, so I recommend frying them just for about a minute or so before you actually freeze them. That way, when you're ready to eat them and you're ready to fry them, they'll be nice and sealed at the bottom because that glue that you made will have sealed them shut properly. Heat your oil to a medium hot temperature because you don't want them to burn, so you want them at a nice even temperature. Check your samosa before you fry it because some of them do have a tendency to open up like this, and this is what I was talking about earlier. If you want to freeze them, it's better to fry them first because this will seal. So just add a little bit more glue, seal it again, and then pop it straight in the oil. So they've caught a little bit of heat like this and they've been frying for about 1 minute. you can take these out if you want to freeze them. Just let the oil drain away a little bit and then you can stack them onto a tray and pop them straight into your freezer. And then when you're ready to eat them, you can just refry them again. Or if you prefer, you can do that in the oven. Just bake them on a medium heat, about 180 degrees for about 10 to 15 minutes until they're piping hot all the way through. But if, like me, you can't wait and you want to eat some now, then fry these until they're a nice deep golden brown and piping hot.
Worth every single second of your time. Serve them up with your favourite chutney. We like them with imli. Or smash them up and make them into a samosa chaat. Whatever you do, you won't be disappointed. Like it, share it, and if you're not subscribed yet, then now's the time. There's plenty more where that came from. Go on, what are you waiting for? Make me proud.